You can access the entire episode now on our website, forbiddenknowledge.news, Rokfin, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. Any point were they requesting experiments or results with something beyond just the remote viewing, such as remote influencing or affecting people's physical reality in any way?
We were not doing that. Beyond ordinary ESP, we were also looking into the future to describe what's going to happen the next day or the next week. And so as physicists, we're interested in data, and we wanted to know how far into the future can you look with your psychic ability, how far into the distance can you look. And what we find is that increasing the distance does not degrade the accuracy or the reliability. That it's no harder to sit in Palo Alto and describe an atomic bomb factory in Siberia. That's no more difficult than to describe where somebody is hiding in Stanford, 5 miles from my house.
Mm-hmm. Now, as far as we know, these programs, as they were known at that time, are no longer in operation. But they had to have taken some of the information they've learned and implemented it into newer projects and experiments. What do you think that these programs have shifted and morphed into, and how do you think that they're implementing the information they learned into our modern programs?
Well, I just made a film the same name as my book, Third Eye Spies. Third Eye Spies is based on a movie that I produced 2 years ago. And in that film, we had Kit Green, who's a physician and researcher for the CIA for many years. And he was willing to assure me that even though the program has been canceled, that the CIA is still pursuing this. And we had trained a couple of CIA agents who became very good at doing remote viewing. But remote viewing, I would have somebody come into my office and say, I don't believe in this stuff. Show me something psychic. And I say, well, I'm not going to show you something psychic because then you'll think it's a trick. Because I used to be a magician. So I'm not going to show you something psychic. I will show you how to do it. So we're going to have your partner go hide somewhere. We'll have a random target chosen by an administrator. He will give my partner and your buddy traveling instructions. They'll go somewhere in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and I will help you to experience where they are. So I will have this shocked person sitting at my office table, and I will say to him, just quiet your mind. I'm not asking you to do anything difficult. Your buddy is hiding someplace in San Francisco Bay Area at an interesting site. I have no idea where it could be. Just tell me about the surprising images that show up in your awareness. Just quiet your mind, and what surprises you that appears. You can't do this wrong, because all I want to know is what you're experiencing. And with those kind of non-directive instructions, most people were able to do very well to pretty well describing where their partner is hiding. So that's what I did for a living for a decade.
Now, what was...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask, what was it like for you to work with individuals like Ingo Swann?
Well, Ingo is a remarkable person, a visionary artist, and he invented remote viewing for us. my partner Hal and I are physicists, so we were going to do physics kinds of experiments. Put a laser in a box and ask him if it's turned on or turned off. What's the picture on the wall? And then he goes, so if I want to know the picture on the wall, I'll open the door. If I want to know what's in the box, I'll open the box. What you're asking me for is a trivialization of my ability. Let me show you what I can actually do. You go hide someplace in the Bay Area, and I'll describe where it is. And he did that excellently. We published that, and that's also in our film. And what we realized is that a person has to be motivated to describe something out of his body, out of existence, to be interested enough to do the experiment. And naturalistic outdoor targets are much easier to describe than the object in the box. And actually, Carl Jung visited J.B. Rhine, the founder of modern ESP research, and he criticized Rhine was doing experiments with special cards that he made up, circle, square, stars. You may know about them. That's much harder to do than describe where someone's hiding, because once you know that your target is a circle, square, star, or cross, once you know that's the possibility, they stand in your memory as targets of interest. They stand as noise. If I tell you I'm thinking of a playing card, an ordinary deck of cards, the first thing that pops into mind is generally the ace of spades. And the fact that you know all the playing cards very well makes it hard to separate the psychic signal from the mental noise. So if I tell you instead, I've got an interesting object on my desk here, which you can describe, but you've probably never seen it. The object I was going to choose happened not to be there right now. So I can tell you that I have an interesting object on my desk that you probably have not seen, if ever. Tell me about the mystery object. That's easier to describe than a playing card. Because I've set the stage so that we've agreed you're not going to guess, because the target you're trying to describe is not something that you're likely to.
Now, would you say that there is a limit distance-wise for remote viewing, for having the ability to gauge different objects or activities over a long distance? Is there a limit to this, or can we go even as far as other planets?
I was just going to give you another planet. in the course of the original program we had was with the ESP teaching machine, the 4-choice trainer. And my contract monitor from NASA came by to see how we're doing. Are people learning to improve their skill? And he saw that he played with this game for a while and saw that our data showed that learning was taking place. And he said, we're sending a spacecraft off to Jupiter as part of the Pioneer program. Pioneer number 2, we're sending to Jupiter. And he asked Ingo, your paintings often have planets and stars on them. Could you tell right now, are we going to find anything new when we get to Jupiter? And he goes, so yeah, give me a piece of paper and I'll draw something for you.